Sometimes things don't go as planned. Sales slow down, unexpected bills come up, and suddenly you're in a tight spot. If you've spent without thinking because you believe more money will always come, you might find yourself in trouble when things get tough. Are you a maker who loves your craft but hates the money talk? Welcome to the Profit for Product podcast, where we help makers turn financial chaos into clarity, all in 20 minutes or less. I'm Meagen Berquist, a money coach for handmade business owners. Follow me as I cover everything from budgeting basics to scaling your finances. We've got the stories, strategies, and encouragement you need to stay on track. Each episode, we'll break down financial concepts into bite-sized, easy-to-understand tips so that you can implement them easily. Whether you're just starting out or looking to scale your business, tune in to learn how to master your money so you can get back to making. Now let's get started. Hey friend, welcome to the Profit for Product podcast, where we talk about becoming profitable even when you're not a numbers person. I'm your host, Meagen Berquist. I'm the founder of Sell and Sell Sustainables, a handmade eco-home product brand and a money code for fellow handmade businesses. Today, we're going to talk about something you hear all the time in the business world, especially as you get more and more into it. Abundance. Abundance, abundance, abundance. This is a word that gets tossed around so much that it can start to lose its meaning. But what does it really mean, especially when it comes to managing your money? Well, thinking abundantly can be positive. I learned the hard way that it should be used in mindset, not money management. Let me explain why. We're going to time travel back to 2022. I was really struggling with a scarcity mindset around money. You know, that feeling where it seems like there's never enough no matter how hard you work. It's like living in a constant state of worry and fear that your money will run out. In the middle of this struggle, I came across something called abundance thinking. It's the idea that there's always more money to be made and that opportunities are everywhere. At first, this mindset felt freeing. I started believing that money is a renewable resource and that it would keep flowing in if I just stayed positive and kept working for it. If you've known me for any length of time, you know how deeply I commit when I choose to do something. So I went full fog into thinking abundantly. It was exciting to believe that I didn't have to worry so much because money would always come back to me multiplied. It felt like I had finally found something to break free from my old worries. But here's where things got tricky. With my new mindset, I began using abundance thinking as an excuse to spend money without thinking about it. I told myself it was okay to buy more fabric or sign up for yet another course because more money was always on the way. Instead of planning and being careful with my spending, I acted like my bank account was a bottomless pit. I started to ignore my budget and made impulsive purchases, thinking, that's fine, more money will come. What I didn't realize was that even though money might come in again, each dollar only gets spent once. In my rush to embrace abundance, I neglected the fact that money is still limited and needs to be managed. My income came and went so fast, it was like it barely even touched my bank account. I was treating my money like it didn't matter, and it quickly disappeared. At the end of 2022, I was burnt out and exhausted. I had made $57,000 that year, but I was still $12,000 in debt because of my unmanaged spending. That's when I realized that I wasn't giving my money the respect it deserved. I wasn't treating it like a valuable resource. Instead, I was just letting it slip through my fingers like sand. I needed a new plan to take control of my finances. So, why isn't abundance thinking enough when managing money? The problem is it can lead to a lack of planning. When you believe money will always come easily, you might not think carefully about where each dollar is going. You might buy things you don't need or spend too much on things that don't really matter. Abundance thinking also doesn't help you deal with the unexpected. Sometimes things don't go as planned. Sales slow down, unexpected bills come up, and suddenly you're in a tight spot. If you've spent without thinking because you believe more money will always come, you might find yourself in trouble when things get tough. That's where the PAM method comes in. If you haven't heard of it, go back to episode 3 for a deep dive into it. But here's a quick recap. PAM stands for pay yourself first, account for all expenses, and maintain a pulse. So pay yourself first. This means putting some money aside for yourself before paying other bills. It's about making sure you save and invest in your future. It doesn't mean splurging on yourself, but ensuring that your needs are met. For me, paying myself first was a game changer. I started setting aside a small amount of money from every sale and devoting that money to paying myself. Even if it was just a little bit, it was a way to make sure I was taking care of myself first. It felt good to see my hard work actually paying off directly into my personal bank account instead of just having a really expensive hobby. Account for all expenses. This is about tracking your spending. You don't have to write every cent, but you should know where your money's going. Understanding your spending helps you make sure it aligns with your goals and values. To get a handle on my finances, I downloaded the app You Need a Budget, or YNAB. This helped me fully understand what I was spending in real time. I pulled way back on my materials purchases and only bought them when I was about to run out of the fabric. By knowing where my money went and bringing awareness to it, I slowed my spending to a stream instead of a flood. I could make better decisions and align with my values more instead of being caught up with inertia. Maintain a pulse. Keep a regular check on your finances. Look at your money situation often to see if you're meeting your goals. This is important because it helps you adjust when things don't go as planned. Maintaining a pulse means regularly checking in on my financial goals. I started setting time aside each week to look at my budget to see if I was on track. If I wasn't, I'd make adjustments and try to figure out why. Maybe I had an unexpected expense, or maybe I just wasn't being as careful with my spending. This helps me stay focused and make sure I'm making progress. Now, a really important lesson here is that if you don't stay on track, this does not have a value judgment on you as a human. That is just going to happen. That's part of being a human. Things don't always go as planned. But how you approach it is important. Remember that this is just par for the course, adjust, and move on. So what's the lesson here? Abundance thinking is powerful and it can help you stay positive and motivated. But it's not enough on its own. You need to pair it with practical strategies like the PAM method to make sure your money is working for you. Combining abundance with practical planning means thinking big and dreaming about the future while being responsible and mindful of your money today. It's about finding a balance between believing in opportunities and respecting the resources that you have. Now, don't get me wrong, there's definitely a time and place for abundance thinking. Believing that more opportunities and money are on the way can be motivating and inspiring. It's great for pushing you to take risks, try new things, and stay positive. But the key is to balance abundance thinking with practical money management. Use abundance to dream big and set ambitious goals. Then, use methods like PAM to make sure your dreams become reality. It's about giving each dollar a job and respecting what that dollar can do for you. When you start treating money with respect and plan carefully, you're creating a system that can support abundance. You're setting yourself up to achieve the things you really want in life and not just hoping they'll magically happen. Here are some practical tips for balancing abundance and planning. Start by setting clear financial goals for yourself. What do you want to achieve with your money? Maybe it's saving for an equipment upgrade that will shave hours off your production time, paying off debt, or building that safety net. Having clear goals helps you stay focused and make decisions that align with what you really want. This is one of the best places to have that abundance mindset. Dream big, think of that absolutely dream life that you have, dream business that you want, and make goals based on that. Number 2, create a budget. Create a budget that works for you. It doesn't have to be super strict. It shouldn't be super strict, but it should help you keep track of your income and expenses. And please, for the love of God, do something that you will actually do. If you know that you're not going to sit down and spend time every single week or even month and enter in expenses into a spreadsheet, don't choose that. I personally recommend using YNAB as it's incredibly user-friendly and actually has some pretty amazing reports to help you gain a more thorough understanding of your spending habits. Number 3 is stay flexible. Life is unpredictable and things rarely go exactly as planned. Staying flexible and adjusting your budget and goals when necessary will help you maintain your budget. If something unexpected comes up, don't panic. Just take a deep breath and figure out how to make it work. Number 4, celebrate wins. This is something that I am all too guilty of forgetting to do, honestly. Did you save a little bit more this month? Pay off a bill? Those wins are worth celebrating. Recognizing your achievements helps you stay motivated and reminds you of the progress you're making. Just note that the celebration doesn't have to be something like buying yourself something new or fancy. Just make sure you're acknowledging your progress and celebrating. Number 5, learn and grow. Keep learning about money management and finding new ways to improve. Listen to podcasts. I heard Profit for Product podcast was pretty good. Read books and talk to others about their financial journeys. The more you learn, the better equipped you'll be to handle your finances. So there you go. How abundance got me in debt and how practicality pulled me out. Abundance is powerful and can help you think positively about your future. But it's also really important to pair it with practical strategies like the PAM method. By being smart about how you spend and save, you're showing respect for the money you have. You're also setting yourself up for success no matter what comes your way. I hope my story gives you some food for thought about how you handle your money. If you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, there's a form in the show notes to submit. If you liked today's episode, don't forget to subscribe and share this with a fellow handmade business owner. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Bye for now.